After an absolute slugfest last week at the Last Great Coliseum, we come to the Last Great Frontier in the Dallas-Fort Worth area here in Texas for the Big Tex 250. It's part of iSNF Sunday Night Cup Series here on Sim Racing Media. Tony Trapasso up in the booth with you, joined with me by my new partner in crime, Mr. Matt Metler. Matt, welcome to Texas and your first experience here with the iSNF Cup Series.
That's right. Double down, up the stakes. It's not only bigger in Texas, it's faster in Texas. Tony, happy to be alongside you here for my inaugural event, as you said, right here in the Lone Star State.
Very much so. Is qualifying underway right now. Time's coming in hot and heavy as Lance Hill jumps up to the top of the pile. Points leader Colin Forrester, Angel Hernandez, Nathan Alul. It's an all-international top 10 right now. 4 Americans, 3 Canadians, the Frenchman, the Slovakian, and the gentleman from Mexico. And now we've got a Swede up there, too, as Marcus Hagman jumps up into the top 5. Take a quick look at the points coming into tonight as we're going to try to bring those up on the screen. There we go. A.J. Green still sitting atop the pile. James Bowles, Curtis Kelly, Marcus Hagman, Colin Forrester all rounding out your top 5. Brian Chu, who has a sub tonight in the 18, that being Chris Worrell. Taylor Butcher-Benjamin, Alex Weigert, Charles Robertson, Derek Cook rounding out your top 10. Steve Messier, J.B. Banner, Adam Duff, Christian Malstrek, Mike Iskandar, and rounding out your top 15. So, this is definitely one of those seasons that you're going, wow, this is pretty cool, because we have all 3 Trackhouse cars in the top 15, which is very impressive for one of the usually the lower funded teams. As Nathan Alul jumps up to the top of the pile in qualifying, as we are gonna, where are we? There he is. There you see him out on track right now, just turning some more laps. Christian Malsharek gonna slot into 9th quick on his final flyer. And we're going to check in with Jonas Skoglund. There he is in the 41. Currently sitting 26th quick. Brian Treadwell, Ricky Hudgens, the only 2 that have yet to lay a time. Treadwell out on track in the ally number 48. There he is taking the green flag to, actually his first flyer is going to put him 49th quick. Hudgens starting his first flyer. There he is in the 50 deuce. As we are just waiting for some other times to start coming in. Alex Weigert currently sitting 5th quick. A little sketchy coming off of turn number 4. 4 qualifying laps scheduled here tonight. Everybody using those to their full advantage. Checking in with Chris Worrell. There he is in the Skittles 18 coming off of turn number 4 to put his 3rd flyer in the books. Currently sitting 4th quick. 3rd lap for Worrell. Does improve his time, does not improve his position, as Nathan Alul, Lance Hill, Adam Duff still sitting in front of him. Marcus Hagman, your defending series champion, sits 8th quick, as Brock Evans in the 30, jumping up to 8th now, moving Hagman back to 9th. There's Jalen Battle in the 24, as his qualifying laps done and dusted, sitting 13th quick. Charles Robertson in the 14, now parked out on track. Worrell still turning some laps as he's now off the throttle. There is Treadwell trying to improve from 40th. We have 41 haulers in the pits here tonight, Matt. And, this is definitely one of those tracks that people want to have a win at.
Yeah, certainly. First of all, it's Texas, right? So that alone right there just makes you want to win. Everything's bigger in Texas. Everything's faster in Texas. 41 haulers, that's a lot of competition. That tells me 2 things, Tony. 1, pit road is not only going to be busy, it is going to be congested. The other side of that, that's a lot of competitors out on the racetrack. Hopefully these drivers are patient. They race the track and not themselves tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be one of those deals. as we are in the warm-up session, and we're going to reach out now to the chief cook and bottle washer here of the iSNF Sunday Night Fever Cup Series, the one and only Miss Rhea Ferris. And Rhea, good-sized field here tonight in Lone Star State.
That's right. I mean, Matt said it best. Everything's big in Texas, and sure as our field is as well. And it's good to see as a league owner that there's a lot of participation out there in this league, and I'm proud to see how far iSNF has come along and grown over the last 2.5 years. And that's the rewarding part that a league owner has, is just to see so many people want to be interested in not only coming into the league, but actually staying in the league for as long as some of them have. So I just want to give a nod and a salute and a thank you to our founding members out there that have been with me for 2.5 years through the peaks and valleys, the lows and the highs. But gentlemen, we have one heck of a show ready for you here at Texas in the Lone Star State, the DFW Metroplex. I'm hoping to put on a good show for this league and show you what we got and keep the cautions down to a minimum.
Absolutely. Rhea, I just noticed something kind of peculiar about tonight. The entirety of Joe Gibbs Racing are all substitutes tonight. As Eugene Thorne taking over the 20 ride from Peyton Hubbard, Chris Worrell subbing in the 18 for Brian Chu, and Christian Delgado is in the 11 tonight. So,
well, is Hopley in session? And Hopley's the only one holding up the fort for JGR as a regular.
Right.
The 19, the Truex machine. Yep. So, but no, I think it's going to be a great race, guys. And I'm going to unfortunately have to cut it short here and jump into the drivers' meeting. But
all right.
Don't forget to look at those point standings. And I know we've got some gusty winds up to 10 to 12 miles an hour out there, too, to take a look at. So.
We did take a look at the point standings as drivers starting to grid up right now. Best of luck to you, Rhea.
Thank you, sir.
As you're going to be starting deep in this field tonight.
Yeah.
A deep, talented field, I might add. So starting up on the pole, setting quick time tonight in qualifying, the man from Paris, France, Nathan Alluel, in only his third start here with the iSNF Cup Series, going 30.052. He's going to be joined with Lance Hill in the 23. Adam Duff and Chris Worrell going to make up row number 2. Alex Weigert and Taylor Butcher Benjamin going to roll it off in row number 3. Row 4 is going to see Kyle Moore and Brock Evans, with row 5 going to Marcus Hagman and AJ Green. Kristen Malsharek and Colin Forrester making up row number 6. Row 7 is going to see Jalen Battle and Charles Robertson, Adam Alshire and James Bowles in row number 8. Bear with me here. There we go. In row number 8, Joey Maines. There is Joey, and he's going to be joined with John Hopley in row number 9. Row 10, Curtis Kelly and Derek Cook. Matt?
That's right, Tony, and you touched on it earlier. 41 haulers on pit road. That means 41 competitors as we set out here, get ready to do battle out here on the racetrack. Certainly, this is my inaugural race at Texas. I'm fired up. Looking forward to how this one's going to unfold over the course of this evening.
Well,
Comers, goers, I'm sure will be a story as well.
Well, let's take a look at the rest of the starting grid. As Jonas Skoglund is going to be joined with Angel Hernandez in row number 11. Row 12 sees Zach Phillips and Christian Delgado. Eugene Thorne and Steven Sear in row 13. Row number 14 is going to go to Mike Iskandar and Ricky Hudgens. Joseph Mador and Jeff Weimer in row number 15. Row 16 goes to Bob Wyckoff and Chris V. Clarence Prince and Rhea Ferris in row number 17. Row 18 goes to Michael Hagstrom and Johnny Castle. Row number 19, Dave Holmberg and Casey Tomlinson. Brian Treadwell and JB Banner in row number 20. And starting shotgun on the field is going to be Jake Banner. So 41 cars scheduled to roll it here tonight at the Texas Motor Speedway. Sorry, Texas Motorplex is up the road just a little ways. As we are just waiting for the last couple of stragglers to grid up right now. Bear with me a quick second, folks. I was just waiting for my broadcast partner to get into the session. As we do here, this league is set to private viewing, so that way we're less likely to get what's the word I'm looking for? Trolls. A lot of action coming up here on the network. Just in the next couple of days, is we've got the nightcap tonight, DBR 250 here at Texas, as part of Sunday Night NASCAR. Monday, we've got the CleanRacing.net Truck Series, as they make their round number 2 appearance of the season. And then the quadruple header on Tuesday, starting off with the AARL Trucker Street America Cup Series, as they go to Indianapolis. That's an 8:20 Eastern Time start. About a half hour later, we've got the Rickman Tech Cup Series, round number 11 at Auto Club. Then 10 minutes later, we've got the Monster Energy Cup Series, as they go to round 8 at Watkins Glen. And the nightcap, as we always do on Tuesdays, Western States Racing League, round number 12 at Hotlanta, part of season number 47. Good grief. The car's starting to roll it here at Texas. As you see, El Newell going to have the button this time. The Geico restart zone is in effect tonight. Excuse me, folks, as there you see Lance Hill in the Route 23 on the outside. 3 Chevys, 2 Toyotas in your top 5. The highest running blue oval is going to be back there in the 6th starting position. It's going to be the double deuce of Taylor Butcher Benjamin, as the Ford Mustang GT500 pace car leads them down the Lone Star back straightaway, the No Limits back straightaway, I might add, here at Texas. It's going to be a fun one. Settle in, folks, because we've got a barn burner for you tonight here from the Lone Star State. As the field working its way through the 3-4 complex, 4 sets of tires, 65% fuel fill. Laying 4 sets in the pits. So the set they start on and 4 extra. As the field works its way out of turn number 4, they're going to extend the caution. Everybody not exactly where they need to be. So we are not going green this time by. Alul, Hill, Worrell, Duff, Benjamin, Weigert, Evans, Moyer, Green, and Forrester, your top 10 as we're getting ready to kick this pig loose. Just waiting on the pace car to come back out and pick up the field. Everybody slowing down just a tick to get behind that Ford, which not easy to do because we all know that stock Mustangs are not the quickest horse in the barn. And I'm going to get some hate mail now from League Admin Rhea Ferris. I know I am. I said it. Get your hate mail coming now, folks. It's Turnage Paso, care of Sim Racing Media Towers, Syracuse, New York, P.O. Box 0812. As the field's starting to form back up, trying to catch the pace car now. Alul going to have the trigger. We're going to turn them loose this time. I just received the promise. As the field working its way through the 3-4 complex one more time. You know what time it is, folks. It's time to wipe the visor and adjust the 5-point harness. Grandma, grab some brisket and a Lone Star beer because it's time to get it on in Texas. Race fans, It's showtime! The field piling off into turn number 1. Side by side for the lead. Hill and Alul side by side at the front of this piece. 3 wide down the back straightaway for the lead. Chris Worrell wastes absolutely 0 time. Coming out of turn number 4, there is Worrell with the lead lap number 1. Here comes Hill on the top shelf. 2 Toyotas trying to do battle at the front of this piece right now. Lance on the top shelf. Worrell going to slot into second. Worrell trying to grab as many points as he can as a substitute driver for Brian Chu, who is at the track today. Or no, is at the ball game today. As of course my Bills not doing the greatest against the Fish. But hey, it's still early in the season. Alex Weigert moving up into the number 3 spot. There he is. Out of Vandersvik, Sweden. And I know I just butchered that name. I do apologize, Alex. You're going to have to tell me how to say that properly after the race. Your 2 biggest movers so far are the 91 of AJ Green and the 1 of Colin Forrester. As they run stem to stern, 5+6, both of them, as Worrell continues his backslide, trying to not punish the tires on that car, giving up a little early to have a little at the end.
Yeah, as you said, Tony, the 91 of AJ Green certainly wasted no time rocketing up through the field, up 5 positions. Currently right now, looking really racy up front. Got some 2x2 action going on around 5th, 6th position. But back up front, the 23-11 of Jason Lance as the caution flag flies for the first time today, Tony.
Mike Iskandar in the GoPro 99 having problems. Let's take a look at what happened to Mike here. And there you see him on the top shelf coming through 3 and 4. And there may have been contact. He gets spun down into the infield, as we are going to see what the Badger blimp picked up on this one. There you see the 99 again on the top shelf, the 10 coming up through the middle, and just light contact of the chrome horn. Around goes Iskandar, and just like that, we are under our first caution of the night.
Yeah, sometimes, Tony, as you know, light contact, that's all you need, especially here at a track like Texas, where aero is so critical, especially on that rear spoiler. You just get a little pressure back there and off to the races you go.
Well, we got real lucky there that no one else got involved in that one. Not a ton of damage on either the 99 or the 10. So, I'm going to say no harm, no real foul. But it's definitely going to make the night a little bit more difficult for the 99. As he is now deep in this field. Checking back up in the front of this piece, there is the Pied Piper, Winchester, Tennessee. That is Lance Hill. So far, winless in his iSNF Cup Series career, looking to rectify that little situation as the rookie currently showing the way here at Texas, as we've got 6 in the books. Nathan Alul showing some pretty good oval prowess for the Frenchman. And little known fact here, Matt, Alul is from Paris, France.
Alul is from Paris, France, so certainly this race has a little bit of an IROC look to it as well then, Tony.
Oh, absolutely. As you've got an American leading a Frenchman, leading a Swede. You've got 2 Canadians in the top 10 with Adam Duff sitting in 7th. There he is in the Heritage number 16. And he is joined with fellow Canadian out of St. John's, Brunswick, or New Brunswick, Curtis Kelly. And Kelly does have a career win here. So, And then checking back in the rest of your top 15, you've got the defending series champion Marcus Hagman out of. I'm not even going to try it. And Marcus has told me how to pronounce his hometown numerous times, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. And then the man out of Bratislav, Slovakia, driving the number 33 here in the iSNF, but drives the Monster Energy Camaro in the real-world Euro NASCAR League. That is Christian Malsharek.
I'm about to recoin this one, the Battle of the Nations right here at Texas. I'll tell you what, you said it earlier, Tony. That mean machine, that Monster Energy Camaro, got one heck of a paint scheme on it. Looking good out in front right now, Tony, as the lights are off on that pace car. Looking to go back to green flag racing this time by.
Actually, sir, I think you might have the wrong paint scheme up because I'm showing him in the Root Toyota tonight.
Thank you for that. Let me go ahead while we're at it, and we'll refresh trade in paints.
But Lance Hill going to have the button this time again. Geico Restart Zone is in effect, which means that pace car is going to peel off. The control car, which in this case is going to be Lance Hill on the low side, has to maintain the pace speed of 55 miles an hour. Don't do this. Don't do this. And iRacing hates me. He has to maintain pace speed into the Geico Restart Zone. Once they get into the zone, he can pull the trigger at any time. Once the cars exit the zone, the green flag's coming out, and it's fair game for anybody. We are going to step away, pay a couple quick bills, and be right back as I need to reload my sim. And we are back at Texas again under caution. As Matt, I'm not sure exactly what did happen there. As unfortunately, my sim decided to not play nicely with me here. But we've got a ton of cars on pit road right now. One of which is the boss lady, Rhea Ferris. And from what you were telling me when we were under break, she's not a happy camper right now.
No, the boss is not a happy camper right now. I was in the process of reloading my trade and paints when the caution came out. But like you said, pit road is a hot commodity right now. So now that you're back and reloaded in the sim, Tony, hopefully you can take us back here and we can see exactly what transpired.
I can't because I don't have it.
Oh, well, see, this is one of those learning processes for me, Tony. So, we'll note that and move forward.
Absolutely. As we're going to check back in, there's Colin Forrester, who, because of all those pit stops or people taking it down pit road, has been promoted up into second place as Lance Hill, Colin Forrester, Alex Weigert, Nathan Allewell, AJ Green, Chris Worrell, Adam Duff, Charles Robertson, Curtis Kelly, and Adam Alshire currently rounding out your top 10. Curtis Kelly and Colin Forrester both sitting at plus 10 right now, as there is the Canadian, Curtis Kelly, currently sitting in 10th. But lights have gone out on the Ford Mustang GT500 pace car as the Pied Piper of Winchester, Virginia, and they just extended the caution.
Yeah, you're right, Tony. It looks like the lights have come back on that pace.
Something just happened to Angel Hernandez. As we are going to take a look at what did happen to the 4. Left side's going on. What on earth? Backs up, goes to his stall again. Now right sides go on. Interesting.
Yeah, that's certainly not textbook.
Well, we're still going to follow him along here, as we are still under caution, and something happened to cause him to jump back to the pits. I think he might have had the fuel glitch that we've been seeing time and time again here in the iRacing servers as of late. Trying to catch the tail end of the field. Don't worry, folks. We've got plenty of time to take it back live, as there he is, ripping up through there to try to get back to his starting spot at the tail end of the field. Jumps on the binders. And then, why did he jump back to the pits? Let's find out. Oh,
potentially.
Okay. Okay, I see what took place. A little bit of shenaniganery going on there, as people were accordioning the field, as we are now back live. Lights are out on the pace cars. The field works its way through the 3-4 complex, getting ready to put lap 14 in the books. 167 laps, 250 miles, the scheduled distance here tonight for the Big Texan 250 here at the Texas Motor Speedway. Pace car getting ready to peel on off as it comes through the 3-4 complex. Hill has the button on the low side, as there goes the pace car. Here goes Hill as he brings the field into the Geico restart zone.
Green.
And waits late to pull the trigger. Good getaway there, as they are side by side behind him, as Weigert and Forrester going after each other. There is Forrester up into second. Here comes the 91 of your points leader, AJ Green, not letting any grass grow under his feet. They're 3 wide behind him.
Oh, certainly they are 3 wide behind him. That hornet's nest is a buzzing as they all fan out.
Going. That didn't take long. Oh, what happened there? Brian Treadwell caught a big piece of that one. So we're going to see from Treadwell up here. You see him on the top side. Gets into the 96. The 5, nowhere to go. Gets turned, sent around. The 11, trying to lock it down. Gets into the 5. And for some reason, that is not as far back as I wanted to go. Yes, it is.
You know, sometimes, Tony, these racing deals like that, you just got nowhere to go, and you get caught up in someone else's melee.
You absolutely do. Is we're going to check this out from the chopper. As where is it? Come on, there we go. There you see the 5, the 96, and the 48, all running side by side, coming off a 2. Treadwell has to chase it down the hill, and unfortunately, Blackjack, everybody lose. The 11 nowhere to go. Tries to mitigate contact by jumping on the binders. Does get into the 5, but just like that, we are working caution number 3.
Yeah, we're just getting a big dose of that cautions breed cautions right now, Tony. The 11 definitely has some damage to the front of that race car. Has some damage also on the back side of that race car. Aero is ever so critical here at a racetrack like Texas. Hopefully he'll be trying to get that car fixed up, get that TRD put back into shape here under this caution, Tony.
Yeah, absolutely. As as we mentioned during the pre-race, that okay. No, Linus, to answer your question, the server is not broken. As I just locked up there. That was not the server, that was on my end. And I've said it before and I'll say it again, Verizon Wireless, or Verizon Home Internet sucks. But at least it's not Spectrum.
Very, very true. Funny you said that. You stole the words out of my mouth there on that one, Tony.
I used to could on Spectrum, now I can't.
Roger that.
And I just want to go on record as saying I love this time of year. As being in Central New York, there's a lot of apple orchards in this area. But if you folks ever get a chance to try it, there's a little apple orchard in Lafayette, New York called Beacon Skiff. Some of the best apple cider you're ever going to taste coming out of Beacon Skiff orchards.
And Tony, that's one of the things I miss about being up in Central New York. This time of the year, I mean, all the specialty, all the craft products that come out, especially out of the Finger Lakes region. If, like you said, man, if you're into apple cider or any product of this time of the year, upstate New York's the place to be.
Oh, it absolutely is. And everybody, you hear New York, you immediately think of New York City if you're not from this area. That's why I usually never tell people I'm from New York. I just tell them I'm from Syracuse and let them guess. Because there aren't that many Syracuses in the United States.
No, there's not. And the minute you say New York, everyone automatically assumes New York City. Being from Niagara Falls, Buffalo area, born and raised, it's like two different worlds.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Niagara Falls, Buffalo area. And Dave Regal, stop texting me. But being from the Buffalo area, who's got the best wings?
Anchor bar, hands down.
I would have to agree with you on that one. But
yes.
Now let me ask the follow-up question that most people get wrong. Blue cheese or ranch?
Blue cheese.
My man.
Tony, we vibing. We're on the same page.
Okay, now, flats or legs?
Oh, now see, this is a tough one. We can't obviously take as long as I want to answer this, but I'm going with legs.
See, I'm more of a flats guy. Only because flats are so much easier to eat. You just push down on them and the meat just, if they're cooked right, the meat just comes off the bone, you put it in your mouth, close your teeth, and pull.
You know what? Honestly, it depends on where I get them from. If I'm going Anchor Bar, I'm going flats. But if it's Duff's, shockingly, I got to go the other route. But hey, we're 2 for 3 on that one, so I consider that a win.
There you go. But And speaking of a win, we're trying to get a win under the belt here as working lap 19 of 167 pace car is in. Hill has the button and holds him deep into the restart zone again. Alex Weiger getting a better getaway this time as he's jumping up into the number 2 spot. Going side by side with Colin Forrester. AJ Green up there as well. Don't look now, but the 18 of Chris Worrell starting to make his way back up through the field as he's working side by side with the 16 of Adam Duff down the back straightaway.
That's right, down the back straightaway they roared. Lance Hill out to about a 3/10 of the second lead. He fired off out of the cannon late. Currently followed in close pursuit by the 43 of Alex Wiegert, the number 1 car of Colin Forrester, and rounding in the top 4 right now, AJ Green. The first 4 cars are all currently single file. They certainly fan out after that, Tony.
Absolutely, as we still have a Chevy dominance in the top 10 right now, as you got the Toyota of Hill, then you've got 6 Chevys behind them, the Toyota of Chris Worrell, Charles Robertson's Ford, and James Bull's Ford, as Curtis Kelly in the Toyota is slugging it side by side with Bulls right now, able to get the advantage over the 6, as he's now under pressure from the Slovakian Christian Malsharik. And Christian, until he joined this league, didn't really have a lot of oval prowess, but he's learning very quickly how to run ovals.
Yeah, Christian certainly is dicing it up with these guys right now. And you mentioned it, Tony. The SS gang trying to currently overthrow that Toyota Occupy in the top spot of the 23. And here we go, just as I said that, burning it down to the bottom, eating on the inside, the 43 machine of Alex Wiegert, if I'm saying that correctly.
Close enough.
Challenging for that lead as we go down the backstretch. Still side by side. Gonna try a little side draft in here, deploy the air brakes, and he should be able to complete the pass as we go across the start-finish line, Tony.
Hills using that second lane to defend quite well, and Weigert not able to throw it in deep enough to get the slide job accomplished. Almost contact in the middle of 2. That's going to send Hill up the hill and open the door for both Colin Forrester and Lance Hill.
Yeah, Hill was almost king of the hill on that deal. What a save. I thought for sure they had wreck written all over it. Great heads-up save. Currently, we jostle the position up front. Currently led the way now. 43 takes over on point. Ferocious battling going on right now at Texas. 23 trying to regain a couple of positions he lost with that near miss, Tony. That was incredible. What a save.
Absolutely. The 17-year-old out of Winchester, Virginia. One of the greatest half-mile tracks ever to exist is the Winchester Motor Speedway, a now, unfortunately, defunct track that they don't use that often. As there we are seeing points leader A.J. Green out of Clemens, North Carolina, as the 1 and the 16. That's Forrester and Duff just going into a slugfest against each other. A little Chevy-on-Chevy crime up there. As now the Chevy of Weigert, the Toyota of Hill, and 5 Chevys behind them is Nathan Alul, your pole sitter, mired back in 7th, but is the caboose in that little freight train at the front of this piece. A little bit of separation by about half a second over 8th place Chris Worrell, who is leading the peloton right now.
Yeah, I imagine you're going to want it. Some of these drivers up front, we certainly started off this race probably not how you wanted to with consecutive cautions. Look for some of these drivers to kind of space themselves out just a little bit, settle in, and try and log some laps as we wind our way through the first portion of this race, Tony.
Absolutely. Everybody just kind of settling in, not trying to push the issue. Just as I say that, we got side-by-side contact with Colin Forrester and Adam Elshire coming through turn 3. That's going to open the door for Alul to get right back to him. Alul wisely jumping on the binders. That's going to close in and allow Worrell and company to join this fracas at the front of this piece. As throw blanket. Oh, we got one around.
Oh, we got cars wrecking behind him, Tony, as they're trying to miss the spin.
I can't find him. For the life of me, I cannot find. There he is. Lance Hill immediately jumping to the pits. Let's go back and take a look at what did happen to the 23. There we see him. He's got your current points leader right behind him. Oh, ow. That was a shot into the outside wall.
He got howitzered into the outside wall.
Pretty much. Let's go back and take a look at what the eye in the sky picked up on this one as we're going to get to the chopper. And there we see Hill. '91 coming up, and netcode. Pure netcode at its finest.
And netcode assumes the whack-a-mole role there, if you will.
Absolutely, as we're going to take a look at that one more time. As we're going to jump up to the blimp cam this time. A little bit higher up. A little bit different angle as well. And keep your eye on the 91 as there's daylight. And that was a netcode shove into the outside wall. Unfortunately, Hill, the victim of that one. Good news is he does have a fast repair left. Bad news is he now has to burn his fast repair and then tiptoe through the rest of this race.
Sometimes the pains of sim racing, while we don't have real mechanical failures, we certainly do have technological failures, and that was on full display right there.
As we are working lap 30. Under caution here, Joey Maines, Michael Hagstrom, Rhea Ferris. Hagstrom, the only one who has not been down pit road at all. Joey Maines was last down on lap 16 for fuel only. Rhea Ferris and John Hopley both came down on lap 16 to get, looks like 4 and some damage repair. Winning the battle off pit road this time, Chris Worrell taking fuel only as Hagstrom now peels it off to go pit side. Alex Weigert in the 43 electing to take 4, as does everybody behind him. So we are about to see just what type of tire fall off these cars are going to see tonight.
Yeah, my thoughts exactly, Tony. I mean, 30 laps on tires at any track is a substantial amount of lap differential. We're just going to have to see how this one plays out.
We are at that as we're checking in with the Kego Harbor, Michigan native in the 8. That's Joey Maines. Still winless in his iSNF Cup Series career. Looking to rectify that tonight as he has the boss lady sitting to his outside. Currently your biggest mover is that number 12 of Rhea Ferris. There she is.
Starting way back in the 34th position. Currently up 32 spots, occupying the high side of the front row. Boss lady is the HMFIC right now, Tony. Man, that's
true story.
Take up some time.
Absolutely, is using a little pit strategery to pick up some spots here under caution number 4. Hold on, I can tell you, folks. Let's see where we are. Caution number 4. So, Maines, Ferris, Hopley, Worrell, Weigert, Green, Duff, Forrester, Alshire, and Alul. Your top 10 as the lights go out on the Ford Mustang GT 500 pace car one more time.
Yeah, that's right. As the lights go off on the pace car, we look to fire these guys back roaring to life here at Texas Motor Speedway. The 8 car currently showing your leader right now. I believe the first time that 8 car has been at the point tonight, followed by the boss lady on the outside. Front row number 1. Row number 2, you got the 12. I'm sorry. Row number 2, you got the 19 of John Hopley and the 18 of Chris Worrell, and 43, the GMS machine of Alex Weigert that's your top 5 as they run right now.
They are, and those two JGR cars starting side by side in row number 2. That's going to bode well for them, not so much for the rest of the field. Is Hopley and Worrell. Hopley, the only non-sub for JGR tonight.
That's a storyline in itself right there, if you ask me.
Absolutely, is carrying the banner proudly for the Toyota bunch as the field working its way through out of turn number 4. Maines has the button as he brings them into the Geico restart zone.
Green.
And he pulls it early, a little bit of tire spin out of the 8. As we are back underway, and Rhea Ferris already feeling the pressure from Chris Worrell as they haul it off into turn number 1. They were 3 wide behind her. And we've got sideways. Oh boy. That's going to bring another caution. At least it should. I don't know why it didn't.
How is there not a caution right now? That had wreck written all over it.
There it is.
There it is.
So we are going to go back and take a look at what did happen with the 16, because he was deep in that one. And we're going to jump immediately.
That possibly started with that restart, Tony, with the 8 spinning the tires, bunching everyone up.
Well, he got the getaway. It was the 19 not going. As the 50 all over the back bumper of the 16, the 3 wide going into 1, not enough room. And the 4 just gets annihilated.
Well, they just got destroyed.
Good grief. Let's watch that one again. This is from the onboard of Angel Hernandez. Here you see him in that outside lane as they stack up just a little bit. Gets a good getaway up into 3rd gear, still accelerating at this point. Keep your eye on the low side as there goes the 16, and here comes the 16, and there goes the wall.
Oh. Out. Oh, Whiplash City.
Well, unfortunately, that was a basic physics lesson. As unfortunately the 16 and the 50 tried to occupy the same moment of the space-time continuum. That doesn't work, folks. At least not in this universe. So back under caution, Joey Maines, AJ Green, Colin Forrester, Chris Worrell, Rhea Ferris, Charles Robertson, Alex Weigert, John Hopley, Adam Elshire, and Nathan Alluel rounding out your top 10. And unfortunately, I don't think we've seen the last of that dreaded yellow flag tonight.
I don't think so either, Tony. And these drivers got to be using up that quick repair a lot sooner than they would like to. You know, and the whole saying goes, cautions breed cautions. Well, that is certainly the storyline of this race so far here tonight. We just can't seem to put 10, 15 laps together, and that's got to be frustrating these drivers. Starting to hear some of the emotions starting to boil over. Hopefully some of these spotters, crew chiefs, can just get their driver to calm down a little bit, get them refocused, because we still got a lot of racing left tonight, Tony. I mean, we're barely working lap 36.
Yeah, here we are under caution number 5 already. Still a long ways to go here in this one. And unfortunately, a lot of drivers have already had to burn their fast repair, which not something you want to have to do.
No, certainly not that early in a run or in this race, if you will. Story of attrition could be just on the horizon here if these trends don't change quickly.
They are at that, and it just... I mean, we know cautions breed cautions, but there's a point where you've just got to go, calm down, guys.
And I think that's what, has to be transpiring on the radio and these team communications. All your team cars, if you will, going up and down the spotter stand up top, just telling these drivers, hey, let's settle down, let's settle in, let's refocus. We got a long race. Let's not have to burn any more of our fast repairs. I'm pretty sure a lot of these drivers have already used it, and just see if we can get everything kind of refocused here, and see if we can just start logging some green flag laps here, and change the tone of this race, because right now it is pretty gruesome.
It is at that, and we're about to find out what is going to happen as the lights do go out on the Ford Mustang GT500 pace car. The official pace car of iRacing. Always has been, always will be. It's Joey Maines on the low side. Good to have the button. AJ Green currently sitting +8. Your points leader, Colin Forrester, his teammate there in the ace, currently sitting +9. Chris Worrell, where he started in 4th position on the outside row number 2. Rhea Ferris, still your biggest mover, currently sitting +28 back there in the 5th position. Field works its way into the 3-4 complex. Pace car getting ready to haul it on off. I want to thank everybody for joining us in the live chat. If you haven't done so already, let us know who you're rooting for tonight. We'll try to highlight your favorite driver as the race wears on. As the pace car peels on off, coming off in turn number 4. Maines has the button, brings him into the Geico restart zone.
Green, green, green.
Jumps on the loud pedal, a lot better of a getaway for your control car that time.
Yeah, that's right. The 8 car of Joey Maines, he just squirted right like a hot dog out of a bun. Clears the entire field. He's going to get the third line going down into 1, coming off at 2. The first 3 are single file as they run right now. Make that the first 4 are single file. However, we got tight racing up here for the lead right now. The 8 currently under duress from the 91 of AJ Green, your current points leader. Oh, as they're looking to push, the 1 car comes up and gives the 91 a shove to the lead. That's going to bring both of them on by as the 1 is looking for more up front. Got some high-octane racing going out in front of the field right now, Tony.
He does at that as the 2 teammates of Green and Forrester, 1 and 2 in points for a reason and showing why. Working very well together right now as, again, Joey Maines, Chris Worrell, all not on pressure tires. Charles Robertson currently sitting in the number 3 spot. Did take tires back on lap 29. Adam Alshire trying to weave his way up through the field. There you see the pit viper number 50. As Maines and Worrell both electing to not take tires. Currently running in now 5th and 6th as Alshire dispatching a Maines quite quickly. So fresh tires seem to be the way to go. And I've got to say, I'm kind of going with the strategy that some of these guys have taken. They just took fuel only under the caution to try to stay on the same-ish strategy, but they've got an extra set of tires later on. As long as you can stay on the... We got trouble in the back. Oh!
Oh, my God. You ain't kidding. We got trouble in the back. Tony, did you see that?
I just saw the 10 get eaten alive by the 23. Let's take a look at what did happen to Jeff Weimer here in the 10. There you see him on the top shelf. This is the replay coming into turn number 1. Goes to the inside of the 7 and just goes up into the 7. Couldn't keep the handle on it. Spun down the track. 23 gets booted from behind. As we are going to go on board with Hill. This is what Hill saw. This is from the roll bar. You can see it going to pop off in front of him there. gets punted from behind. The brakes no longer work because the tires weren't on the ground. The 78 catching a piece of it, and he goes into the 10 with a head of steam. Good grief.
Just gets lofted into the back of that race car.
That was ugly with a capital UG.
Yeah, and that's friction, right? I mean, your tires have to be fixated to the racetrack in order for those brake rotors and calipers to do its job. And once those tires come off the asphalt, I don't care how much foot you put in that brake pedal, you're holding on for the ride at that.
Yeah, you're just a passenger. The only thing you can do is kind of brace and, brace for impact at that point. But, that just classic ARCA brake situation. Some people not paying attention to the smoke up ahead and getting run over from behind by the guys that aren't paying attention.
In racing, when there's smoke, they say when there's smoke, there's fire. Well, in racing, when there's smoke, that typically means there's trouble up ahead. You might want to start transitioning off the loud pedal, getting your eyes focused down the racetrack so you don't get caught up in someone else's melee.
Well, just remember the old adage, race car spelled backwards is still race car. Race car upside down is expensive.
That's a good one, Tony.
We are working caution number 6 here tonight, and folks, place your bets on how many cautions we're going to be having here tonight at Texas. And I would suggest now would be a good time to break out the at-home drinking game. Every time there's a caution, you take a shot. And if you want to play the pro level version of the game, every time there's a caution, you take a number. You take the number of shots for the number of cautions that were on. So the first caution, you would have taken 1 shot. The second caution, you would have taken 2. This being the 5th caution, you would take 5 shots just for this caution. And if you don't die of alcohol poisoning, you win.
Might want to throw a disclaimer up there. I don't know if they make a bottle big enough to last the duration of this race if these trends keep up.
Well, I mean, you're only talking about a shot.
True. I mean, it is just a shot.
But working lap 44 of 167. Still quite a ways left in this piece as you are watching the Big Texan 250 from the Texas Motor Speedway as part of the iSNF Cup Series here on Sim Racing Media. Tony Chapasso, Matt Medler up in the booth with you for this one. And Matt, don't let this race be indicative of what this league does. They usually put on some really good racing.
Yeah, I've actually was able to watch some of their past races in the YouTube archive, if you will. And you're right. This is typically not indicative, or at least what I've seen. I think this is just a lot of nerves boiling over and not being able to get out and kind of settle in, if you will, get your race car mindset, if you will. And cautions breed cautions. And as an end result, everyone's just a little antsy, a little fired up. And kind of like we said it before, you refocus. You just need to try and give everyone some space. If you don't really have to. The pass isn't there. Wait till the next lap. You don't have to. It's not 1 to go. It's not 2 to go. Give and take right now, I think, would definitely yield a different outcome of what we're seeing right now on the racetrack, Tony.
It absolutely should. As your current points leader, AJ Green, and his partner in crime, Colin Forrester, who have been 1 and 2 in the points all season long, going to lead us back to Green this time as the pace car peels on off, coming off of turn number 4. Green has the button as he brings them into the Geico restart zone. Pulls the trigger about halfway through, and here we go as the 50 of Alshire all over the back bumper of Forrester going into 1.
Yeah, that's right. Knocking on the back door. It's not delivery. It's Alshire. He's looking to make a move right on the restart. And sometimes with tracks that are this aero sensitive, you got to get all you can on the restarts, and that is simply the case. He's not trying to get any in all positions he can right out the rip. Currently back to the on point, the 91 of AJ Green, your points leader, showing the Ray, closely in pursuit by the 1 car of Colin Forrester, followed closely by the 50 of Adam. I'm not going to attempt his... Elshire. Thank you, Tony.
He's got the 14 of Charles Robertson to his inside, coming through 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway, it's a drag race. For third place, the 50 of Elshire on the top shelf, as Robertson just bombs it in there. Elshire hanging tough on the top side, trying to get the advantage here, letting the car roll a little bit more. Drag race coming to the stripe. Robertson has the drafting help off the 43 of Alex Weigert. Weigert now goes to the inside of the 50. Elshire not in a good position. Around goes the 14.
Tony, you just can't race like that. You can't. I don't care how good you are, and I know these guys are great race car drivers that represent a lot of different countries. But when you're racing that hard and that close, it's physics. It's gonna happen.
Unfortunately, we saw it there. Let's go to the eye in the sky and see what they picked up. There you see the 14 already pinching down. We're going to back this up just a little bit. This is coming to the straight to start that lap. You see the 43 gets a run coming through the dog leg, gets to the inside. The 14 a little bit twitchy, and just slight contact, and around goes the 43, and around goes the 14. 14 with some front end damage in that high point Ford Mustang. Just like that, we're already under caution number 7.
Well, if you got the shot glasses, you might want to go ahead and refill it. And you're going to drink and repeat a couple times, especially if you're playing the pro version.
At least we're not tonight going to beat the record that was set at Charlotte last season.
Well, you know what? Yeah, you know what? Tony, what is the record?
26.
26.
And that was during the Coke 600.
That was a long one, my friend.
Yeah. Especially considering I had to do the first half of the race alone.
Yeah, I would not have been a happy camper if I was you, at least for the first half of that race.
I wasn't. I was not a happy camper during the entirety of that race. But again, that's one of those deals. It's not indicative of this field. It's something about coming to the quad ovals that these guys struggle with, and I for the life of me cannot figure out what it is.
Is it perhaps the draft and the closing rates of these cars, Tony?
Well, I would say yes, except for the fact that it was the Gen 6s last season. And this is our first trip to a quad oval this season. I just... It boggles my mind. It really does.
Well, if we go back to this last caution that just came out, and you said so yourself, that car was out of shape. If I'm the driver piloting that vehicle behind that, the minute I see that, I'm starting to feather the gas pedal. I don't want to do anything to disrupt the airflow, especially on the spoiler of that race car. But then again, I mean, these guys are they're out there battling like it's, 10 to go. And as long as we keep seeing these trends on the racetrack, I don't see us getting away from this caution breeds cautions melee that we currently have going on.
Well, you see, that's the difference between you, me, and some of these guys on track. What you just said is lesson number 1 of racecraft. And what I mean by racecraft is it's racing smart, not necessarily hard. Knowing when to go, when to push the issue, when to put your nose in there. And that takes quite a while to get the feel for it usually. And it stems back to what I usually refer to as racing is it's a cerebral sport. Are these guys trying to beat on each other and push up a field or trying to hit a ball? No, they're not. Are they trying to finesse a shot on a 400-yard par 5? No, they're not. Are they trying to hit out of a sand trap? No. Are they trying to sink a basketball from 35 feet away? No. Are they trying to kick a 60-yard field goal? No. But they're trying to control a ton and a half of machine at almost 200 miles an hour in an area that it's basically no wider than the highway that you take to work on your commute. As a matter of fact, some of these tracks are narrower than the highway on your commute to work. And these guys are still 2 and 3 wide, and that's really where the racecraft part of it comes in. You have to know, okay, this guy's a little loose. I might want to back off a little bit to make sure if he does go around, I'm not in it. We didn't see that this last time. We haven't seen that yet tonight, where somebody has backed off and given somebody the room. We've seen a couple of good saves, but not so much. As the lights are out on the pace car. Matt, what do you say you get us going this time?
Absolutely, Tony. And guys, if you were fortunate enough in the YouTube chat to hear that expert breakdown from Tony, I couldn't have said that better myself. Racecraft, look for the drivers to improve that as we get ready to reload. We're going to restack them, re-rack them here as we're getting ready to turn these guys back loose. That Mustang's going to make that hard left back down pit road. And here we go, folks. Going to turn it up a notch, and here we go, back to green flag racing. That 91 car, your points leader, AJ Green, currently shoots out in front. He's going to retain and regain that lead position as he has the preferred line going down into turn number 1. Cars 1 and 2 single file. That Hornets that starts around the 3rd and 4th position. Go down the backstretch. It almost wrecked again, Tony.
James Bowles bounced it off the wall coming off a 2. That's going to open the door for Jalen Battle in the 24 to get to his inside. As that could have gotten ugly, but luckily Battle had it well spotted and was able to give Bowles enough room to collect the car and not get into him. Right behind him, though, Brock Evans coming down the back straightaway. He's got a good head of steam. Jonas Skoglund currently sitting plus 13 right behind him in the 8th spot. Everybody up towards the front getting single filed out. Alex Weigert trying to claw his way back through the field as he is all over the back bumper of your pole sitter, Nathan Alul.
Yeah, some of these guys that got caught up in trouble early, comers and goers, if you will, they're currently trying to make their way back towards the front. Right now, currently on board with, I'm watching the 30 of Brock Evans right now. This guy is really racing, trying to bring that high line in currently into play on the racetrack as he currently decides to bring it down low on the bottom side. But he is currently maintaining inside the top 10, up 1 spot, currently running 7th position as we go on back to the 41 car of the SHR machine of Jonas, currently position number 8. And let's round out the top 10 here, Tony. The RCR machine of C. Marshankin and the 22 TPR machine of TBB.
Absolutely. We've got a battle for second going hot and heavy right now. Colin Forrester wrestles the spot away from Alshire. Alshire trying to battle back, coming through the dog leg right now. They're 2 wide behind him. That's Curtis Kelly on the top shelf. Jalen Battle on the low side. Here comes James Bowles in the 6th, trying to throw his hat into the ring. The 30 of Brock Evans taking a long way around, trying to make sure he's got himself an out if he needs to. But right now, that battle for 5th is just a slugfest.
Yeah, and you know what? The 91 is looking in his rearview mirror, and he's loving every bit of that because while that Hornets Nets continues to build and fester, he is able to just check out and build that lead over the top 5 right now. Really, the only other car single file right now on the racetrack, as far as I can see, Tony, is in the second and third position. As you get through fourth on back, that Hornet's Nest is alive and well.
It is at that as Evans and Bowles going side by side, coming through 3 and 4. Evans on the top shelf, Bowles on the low lane. As, again, Bowles in the 6, started the season in the deuce, got traded over to Hendrick in the mid-season here. We are just past the halfway mark of the season, not of the race, but here comes the 30 trying to do the crossover going into 3. Evans bombs it going into 3 and throws the slide job. Bowles going to slot back into 7th as we're going to check back just inside the top 15. That's the 52 of Ricky Hudgens, the 18 of Chris Worrell, and the 8 of Joey Maines, all going after each other. Again, battle for 15th, hot and heavy right now.
I'll tell you what, Tony, I am watching this battle between the 30 machine and the other machine right now. They are duking it out right now. They are going at it like it's the last lap of the race. Currently looks like they got things sorted out just a little bit, but it was hot and heavy there for a few laps, Tony.
It absolutely was, and it could have gotten very ugly. As checking back in the battle of the top 10, that is Chris Malsherek working the top side on Jonas Skoglund in the 41, trying to get another one off Alex Weiger as well. Malsherek using the draft. We're under caution, and I don't have it. Uh-oh. Looks like Steven Sear may have gotten a piece of it. Oh, what happened to the boss lady?
Good.
So we're going to go back and take a look at what did happen to the 12 here. Here they are going into 3 side by side with the 78 of Bob Wyckoff. 77 was a little... Oh! 77 got loose in front of her. She tried to haul it left to stay off him and lost the back end of the car. And the 5...
That light clicking in a hurry, and at that point in time, you're just holding on.
And the 5 was absolutely nowhere to go. We're going to take a look at that sooner or later, but we're going to check this from the chopper. Keep your eye on the yellow car on the right side of your screen. And then keep your eye on the car right in front of her. The Brandt 77 catches the apron, gets a little bit squirrely, bounces off the wall. She sees it, hauls it to the left, and unfortunately, the back end just washed. Man.
Yeah, that was washing like a mama's cleaning.
It was at that, as we are going to go... As soon as I can get to the camera, there we are. We are on board with the 5 of Sear. You're going to see this pop off in front of the other driver from Poland, Maine. There goes Rhea. She loses the back end, bounces off, bang, into Sear, into the right rear. And unfortunately, that might be the end of Sear's night. As we are going to take a look and see if we can see any damage on the right rear of that car. If the suspension arm is still attached, he's okay. And
Tony, I've been watching here the past couple of frames. I want to say that rear suspension arm is still attached. I'm seeing a little bit of damage, not as much as I would expected. I'm pretty sure he already did use a quick repair. I think he's going to be okay, but he certainly can't survive a couple more scares like that.
Absolutely not. As you can see, a ton of right side damage on that Valvoline number 5. As we are going to go back live and see what type of damage he had. Oh, he's back out on track. So, pretty much wholesale pit stops. Joey Maines, Clarence Prince, Michael Hagstrom, and John Hopley all electing to stay out. AJ Green leading the contingent to bring them down pit road. But
that's certainly going to change the matrix up front.
It absolutely is, as currently your 2 biggest movers are going to be the 26 of Clarence Prince. There you see him, in the deuce of Michael Hagstrom. up 31 and 32 respectively.
Oh yeah, certainly the deuce is loose tonight. That man's on the move right now. And Tony, the more of these caution flags fly, this race could boil down to literally survive and alive. The cleanest car may win this race at the end of the night.
Absolutely, as we already have some retirements to speak of. Joseph Mador, Angel Hernandez, Lance Hill all putting it on the hauler. J.B. Banner has bowed out. Casey Tomlinson, Adam Alshire, and Christian Delgado have all decided to put it on the hauler here tonight.
Yes, certainly that blacklist continues to grow. Man, you feel bad for these drivers, Tony, coming in with such high expectations tonight. And, but that's racing. Sometimes, you could sit there with the smartest people that have all the best technical knowledge, and you sit there and you say, hey, we're projecting the race to go A, B, and it goes Y, Z, and you wind up in these positions. But, I mean, that's the sport. That's racing 101.
It is, and it goes back to what we were talking about in the last caution. It all stems from racecraft. But this caution, not really caused from racecraft. It was this car handles differently than any other NASCAR Cup car ever. And it's because of how the downforce is generated in this car. As a matter of fact, we're going to go on board with Michael Hagstrom. And you can see that, and under where it says Camaro, you see those strakes going down. That's the rear diffuser. So what you're creating is a vacuum under the car using that and the flat underbelly of these cars now. And you can see just how short that rear spoiler is. Probably the shortest rear spoiler that we've had since they started putting spoilers on the cars. And with the way that the downforce is generated on this car, you get these things more than maybe 15 degrees sideways, and you've completely negated all your underbody downforce. So you have no traction on the rear end. The car is going to snap.
Green flag, green flag.
As we are back underway, Maine's getting a good getaway this time. As there you see the battle for second, Prince up into second. And here comes the one of Forrester on the inside of Hopley. Boy.
Yeah, the 8 shooting it out to a nice advantage again on that restart there, Tony. This guy seems to have the restarts figured out. Definitely knows how to squirt away from the pack. As we throttle down and we get back down to the green flag racing here tonight, hopefully we can put on a little bit of a run.
Oy! The most terrifying thing you can hear your spotter say here at Texas: 3 wide, you're the meat. And Curtis Kelly was the meat in a sandwich there, and it wasn't brisket. As that is just an angry pack of hornets behind him now.
Yeah, with the stinger fully deployed, I might add.
Hashtag not wrong. As AJ Green takes over the lead again on tire strategy, leading those that did come down to get tires on lap 62. Joey Maines came down on 42. There he is, currently mired back in third, as Weigert and Hagstrom going after each other. Weigert up into fourth. Hagstrom starting to slip back as well, as he's another one of those cars that came down on lap 50. So fresh shoes already starting to pay dividends.
Fresh shoes at Texas. Anytime I'm running Texas, I'll take fresh Dr. Feelgoods any day. It's going to make that car handle the best. It's going to allow you to run that low line around the racetrack, which is going to be the fastest way around. 3 wide on back. I was going to say, Tony, outside the top 10, I mean, they were 3-4 wide going down the backstretch the last time.
And they were, as Curtis Kelly wasted no time dispatching of the 8 of Joey Maines, going to bring Michael Hagstrom with him, or trying to. Jalen Battle caught in the middle there, and we are back under caution. Uh-oh. Ooh, Nathan Alul pointing the wrong way on a one-way street on the front stretch. Let's take a look at what happened there. You see the blue number 7 on your top side. This is coming down the back straightaway. Let's take a look at what did happen to Alul here. They're 3 wide in front of him. Somebody's getting, Clarence Prince getting used as a pinball. Alul gets shoved up into the outside wall. Around goes the 16. Around. Oi!
The front of that Camaro is used up.
Oh my goodness. Let's take a look at what did happen here. Ricky Hudgens was a big piece of that one. There you see the 52 of Hudgens on the top side. Something between him and the 16 popped off, coming off a 4. Oh, that's what happened.
And that attrition is starting to bleed over into the driver's channel, Tony. They are hot. And you know what? That's a byproduct of this type of racing. I mean, you can only have this amount of cautions consecutively back-to-back before patience just and professionalism just starts to dwindle down.
Yeah, if you're an ambulance driver, the patient died. But let's back that up again. Take a look at what did happen here. You're going to see the 26 on the bottom left of your screen there. Prince is going to get loose. It gets into Worrell, bounces off the 30, gets loose. The 33 checks up. The 7 checks up. The 3 gets into the back of him. There were 3 wide. The 52 gets into the 16, and boom goes the dynamite.
And I'm going to say it again, Tony. And not to sound like a broken record here, but racecraft. There's no reason to be 3 wide right now, in my opinion. I'm sorry. I don't understand why you have to race 3 and 4 wide. You know what the byproduct is. We've seen it all night.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, the most terrifying thing you can hear your spotter say in iRacing, period, but definitely at a 1.5-mile track or smaller, the last thing you want to hear is 3 wide, you're the meat, because you know you've got a car on either side of you. The only thing you can do there is just roll out of the throttle and pray you don't get run over from behind.
Yeah, especially when you know you're the olive loaf that's on clearance, when you're the meat on the inside of that deal.
Steven Sear checking in that he did have his fast repair there. So good news for the 5. Checking in from the previous caution. So AJ Green, Colin Forrester, Alex Weigert, James Bowles, Curtis Kelly, Michael Hagstrom, Jalen Battle, Brock Evans, Chris Worrell, and Clarence Prince rounding out your top 10 as we currently sit. Michael Hagstrom in the deuce, currently your biggest mover, sitting plus 29, was last down pit road on lap 50. And he is in a gaggle of cars that all took 4 in fuel on the previous caution.
Well, here's an interesting stat for you, Tony. With the exception of your third place driver, which started P5, everyone else just about inside the top 10 has started from 13th on back.
With the exception of AJ Green, as he started in 9th. So
For that correction.
you are correct, sir.
The point is, I mean, these guys all started in the back, so, you know, maybe these drivers here saw this trend coming and they just decided, hey, you know what? We're going to let this thing unfold in front of us. We're going to let everyone cleanse the racetrack, if you will. And then once we, you know, see things settle down a little bit, we'll just start making our way towards the front. Or the other side of that coin, hey, guess what? My car doesn't have any damage on it. My car's still driving good. We're naturally going to migrate towards the front.
Absolutely. One of the other drivers to speak of that is still plugging away at it is that ally number 48 of Brian Treadwell. We saw him get into one of the early ones. Spent quite a bit of time trying to fix that car. As currently mired back in 38th, but he is going to make up some spots as 3 drivers in front of him, Christian Nogata, Adam Alshire, and Casey Tomlinson, have all decided to put it on the hauler. So Treadwell is going to make up some spots before this race is over. But look who won the pony. A.J. Green, your points leader, showing why he's your points leader, currently leading this piece as we're getting ready to put lap 74 in the books. As the field coming down the back straightaway with the lights out on the pace car.
That's right, Tony. As you said, your points leader, A.J. Green, putting on full display why that man is your points leader tonight. He is surviving, he is alive, and he is in control of this race as we get ready to go back.
Not again. Verizon Wireless, you suck. And we are back at Texas. Sorry about the technical difficulties, folks. Blame Verizon Wireless as we are currently watching the battle for fifth between Jalen Battle and Curtis Kelly. As Kelly on the low side, Battle on the top shelf. As Colin Forrester has inherited the lead from A.J. Green. Green now sliding backwards now as he's now battling with Bowles. That is your battle for third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. All stem to stern right now. And there it is. Of course it is. Ooh. Why is John Hopley... Oh!
Oh, my.
Rhea Ferris just got one in the driver's door sideways.
Got a whole lot of it in the driver's door.
Well, let's take a look at what did happen here with John Hopley. And there you see the 19, as we are now under the lights here at Texas officially. Ferris took it 3 wide down on the low side. There you see her making a move, trying to get a twofer. Gets sideways on corner. Ow! sideways on corner exit. She caught the apron. Here comes the 78, guessing wrong. On the brakes hard, and that thing was sliding when he hit her.
I don't even know what to say, Tony. I'm lost for words.
Well, Ferris was already into it there. Now let's back this up, because it's coming across the stripe. She gets a good run coming off of 4 on the fresher tires of those guys around her. Down on the low side, and the back end just starts to wash. She tries to save it up into the 19. They both spin off the wall. The 34 jumps on the binders. 34 collects a piece of it. The 78 is hard on the binders and slides into the door of the boss lady, and she immediately puts it on the hook.
See, I bet you the 4 fresh tires have a lot to do with that, Tony. You have all that speed, like you said, coming off the corner, and you are just motoring down that backstretch, if you will. And coming into that corner, you're probably carrying 10, 15 more miles an hour than you have on that previous set of tires. And those race cars, those competitors you're battling are older tires. So mentality of that race car driver is on the attack, and you just get in there a little too hard. There goes the back end. The diffuser's no longer working, and you're holding on for the ride.
Yeah, absolutely. And, this is one of the reasons why Formula One did away with the underbody aero, because those same things would happen in the late 70s and early 80s until they banned it. And NASCAR apparently didn't learn the lesson from Formula One, and now they're running into the same issue. This is what killed Gilles Villeneuve, is they were trying to do an underbody aero car for Ferrari, and unfortunately, that car, if you try to hustle that car, it would get sideways. And if it would get sideways, you were eating guardrail. And this was back before safer walls. This was back before, driver safety was taken into any consideration. And we lost so many good ones back in those days for Formula One because of the underbody aero. And NASCAR apparently didn't learn their lesson from them.
And I'll just take a step away from this race here, if you will, for the moment. When I heard they were going to this style of aero setup, I was shocked, Tony, to be quite honest with you. I thought that was a rumor. When I seen it actually put into production, and you seen this next-gen car doing testing on the different racetracks, and you saw the images on Twitter, and you saw the little video snippets, I couldn't believe what I was seeing because of what you just said. We've seen the loss of life in all these drivers, like Formula One, if you will, before all the modern enhancements to driver safety. And, and what Tony's trying to say, if you guys in the chat don't know what we're talking about, to try to simplify it for you, imagine Tony is pushing down on the back of a race car. As Tony's pushing down on the back of that race car, he's exerting X amount of pounds on the back of that race car.
265.
265 pounds on the back of that race car. When that car starts to step out, all of a sudden it's like me saying, Tony, hey, let go of the back of that race car. Instantaneously, that 265 pounds is gone.
Well, the thing is, we don't even have to go all the way back to the 80s. We can go back to the early 90s, or mid-90s, mid and late 90s, I should say. Back in the original GT1 era, Mercedes tried exactly what's on these cars right now. Go look up the footage of Mercedes flip at Le Mans. Watch what happens when you disturb the underbody airflow of a flat-bellied car like what these Cup cars are. Mark Webber put 2 of them into trees at 200 miles an hour.
That was the tree incident.
Yes. Just
that
YouTube the phrase "Mark Webber hits a tree," and it's same setup: flat belly, diffuser at the back, splitter at the front, and the car would just launch. Luckily, we don't have to worry about rollers at that type of speed for any of the tracks that we go to, but it still makes these things so dangerously difficult to drive, especially if you get them a little bit off yaw going through the corners.
And that's exactly right, Tony. As we're back under green flag racing here, 43 car is going to reassume the lead here, coming off down the backstretch as they're fanning out behind him. The RFK car of James Bowles, followed by the 91-year points leader AJ Green, and the 45 of 2311 Racing Curtis Kelly. That hornet's nest is a brewing once again, Tony.
Absolutely, as Hendrick Motorsports driver Jalen Battle currently sitting plus 10, trying to claw his way up. He's currently sitting in a podium position, as that is Charles Robertson in the 14, working on Clarence Prince right now as Prince looks to the inside of Battle, going into 3. Battle slams the door.
Oh, and the 45 just about took the nose off of the 14 car. Somehow there wasn't any contact, but they continue to race on, and they're really racy right around that 3rd through 5th position. These drivers are going for it. They're peeking outside. They're peeking inside.
Boy. Christian Malchuk, almost the meat in a sandwich, is the 22 of Taylor Butcher Benjamin, trying to make some headway right now. Gets the door slammed on him, as that's the 30 of Brock Evans on the top shelf. Christian Malchuk on the low side for, Malchuk on the low side, trying to make some headway right now. Checking back a little bit further, that's Zach Phillips and Nathan Alul going after each other. Alul has had a pretty quiet race after setting quick time in qualifying. Zach Phillips on the high side on him, looking to bring Jonas Skoglund in the 41 around as Phillips slams the door on Skoglund, and the 16 of Duff into the wall, coming off of 4.
Oh, yeah, unfortunately, the 16 of Duff got a big part of that wall as he came off of 4. But how about, you know what, Tony, let me shift gears here real quick. How about the 30 of Brock Evans? I like what this man's doing. He's out there doing something different virtually from anyone else right now. He is up there, trying to make this high side work, and he's doing a little side drafting right now, trying to overtake the 22. But he's up there on the high side of that racetrack. Oh, as he gets loose, what a save.
There was contact coming off of 4 between him and Taylor Butcher Benjamin. They get it collected. And how about the rookie Kyle Moore in his first start here with the iSNF Cup Series, driving that Monster Energy Camry down the back straightaway, currently battling with the 16 of Duff. And it's an all-international affair just inside the top 10, as you got Malchuk in the 33, Taylor Butcher Benjamin and Kyle Moore representing the States, and Adam Duff from Canada. And then don't look now, but you've also got Nathan Alul, the Frenchman, sitting back there in 12th. So there's still a lot of battling going on here, as the Swede, Alex Weigert, currently showing the way.
Oh, the crazy train is a large and in charge, if you will. Cars jostling all over the racetrack for position. No one's staying in line, Tony. They are darting in, out, taking a breath of air when they can. Everyone is under duress and under siege right now from the 4th place on back.
Absolutely. As we're watching this battle right now between Evans, Alul, Phillips, Maines, Worrell, and Skoglund, all just slugging it out right now.
Yeah, it looks like a home run derby out here.
Oh, my goodness.
4 wide.
You're right, they were 4 wide coming through 2, as Worrell just kept his foot in it, and something just happened to Jake Banner. Let's go back and take a look here. There is the Sunny D47. As just lost it coming off of 4. Oh my. Into the wall, into the wall.
Not so sunny, 47.
Not so sunny delight. Not so sunny, not so delightful, as he immediately toes it. So we are back showing this battle up here, as AJ Green slugging it out with Weigert for the lead. Coming through the dog leg, give the advantage to your points leader. As Skoglund looking to cross him over, gets into him, gives us a cone horn going into 1.
That car was pointed towards the inside wall. What a save, Tony.
Green, one of the few saves that we've been able to see in this new car is they are, wow, bumper to bumper, 3 deep.
That looked like a bump draft on the final lap at Talladega.
It was. And, the first rule of racing at Talladega or Daytona is don't push the pusher. And Jalen Battle might not have gotten the memo on that one, but they all made it work.
Don't ask them to do that again, and I'll come out the other side clean. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah, no, I was cringing as I was watching it the first time. But Weigert a little bit squirrely coming through too. That's going to give a little bit of breathing room to Green. Battle right there as well as he's going to get the run on the top side. Weigert pinches him up towards the wall. Battle wisely backs out of it ever so slightly as we're going to check back in the battle for 10th. As it is James Wolves on the top side, Taylor Butch Benjamin on the low side for 9th. As they're looking to bring the 36 as Zach Phillips with them.
As Zach Phillips is coming with him.
Oh!
My goodness. Just about anywhere we go on the racetrack right now, they are about wrecking.
And take a look at the 18 of Worrell quickly dispatching of the 33 of Christian Malschrick. Worrell up into 6th. Does have some of the newest tires on track right now as he was last down on lap 81 to get tires. Currently working lap 97 of 167 here tonight. So still a ton of racing left in this one. Oy. Curtis Kelly gets picked off by the 18, and here comes the 18 on the 14 of Robertson. Robertson caught on the top side, and you can see just what new tires can do for you.
Yeah, full tires are certainly on display right now as he is looking to charge up through this field. Oh, we have a car in the outside wall, Tony.
That's Zach Phillips in the 36. Let's go ahead and take a look at what did happen to Phillips. And we are under caution. So we're watching Phillips here in the 36.
Oh my God, we almost had a decleater there, Tony, as the drivers weren't aware of that car that was stuck in the outside retaining wall.
Well, we're watching the 36 come off of turn number 4. Gets a little bit sideways, bang into the outside wall. And just keeps it up there, lets the field pass. At surface 30. Oh, he almost didn't. Gets into Steven Sear. Sear into the wall.
Yeah.
And Sear did have his fast repair already taken earlier.
Yep, so that caution is going to claim the virtual life of another candidate here tonight, folks. As we're back under caution. Well, we said it earlier in the broadcast, Tony. Everything happens bigger in Texas. And the caution side of that certainly is held true.
It absolutely does, unfortunately. Let's see. I'm looking for him, but I don't see him.
Pit road right now is definitely a hot commodity.
There he is.
A lot of drivers coming down right now, going to form a full, complete round of pit stop. They have an opportunity to fix some of that sheet metal on the car. Probably will do so at this time as well, Tony.
Absolutely, as we are going to reach out to the driver of the Hendrick Motorsports number 5, Steven Sear. And Steven, if it wasn't for bad luck, you wouldn't have any luck at all tonight.
Yeah, I know. That's what it feels like. I was trying my hardest to stay out of trouble all night, but just wasn't my night. Back-to-back weeks, Bristol was rough, and Texas was here, been rough, so we'll have to try to get at it next week at Dega, which is another crapshoot.
Yeah, pretty much, but Steven, again, tough break tonight. Hopefully you can get that car fixed and back out there and try to salvage as many spots as you can.
Yeah, hopefully. I don't know how bad the damage is. I know I got a tie rod or something on the front end broken, but yeah, I just couldn't see that 36 at all until everybody parted seas, and I had nowhere to go.
All right, Steven, best of luck to you. Hopefully you can salvage some, and we'll see you next week at Talladega.
Thanks, Tony, and we'll see you next week.
And that's the thing, Tony, like Steven was just saying, sometimes you don't know what's there until those seas part, and voila.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's going to be the case tonight. You know, you could hear the dejection in his voice, too, because he had a good run going. You know, he had one of the stronger cars tonight, just unfortunately caught up in everybody else's dumpster fire, completely eliminating his chances now. As we did see wholesale pit stops, with the exception of that discount tire number 2 of Mikael Hagström, as he came down on lap 81, and everybody else just finishing their pit stop, and it looks like 4 in fuel for the entirety of the field.
Oh, and Tony, you said it, the dejection in his voice. And I guarantee you it's not just that driver right now. It's probably 95% of these competitors out there on that racetrack right now have felt that they have been wronged. They're upset, feel they should be running better than what they're running. And all that emotion is just translating over into that style of racing that's being produced on the racetrack.
Well, the other thing, too, is you got to figure that, you know, it's been a rough couple of weeks. As, you know, we went to Pocono, Bristol, and now here at Texas. And there were a lot of people making moves that, you know, looking back, you're going, really? You wanted to do that? And, you know, it just, tempers are overflowing. And I'll tell you right now, I would not want to be in the little red hauler after this race is over, because I can guarantee you there's going to be a lot of unhappy campers that get called to that.
Yeah, they're going to have to change the name of the Red Hauler to the Sizzler after this one. I can promise you that.
You're probably not wrong. Anyways, lights do go out on the Ford Mustang GT500 pace car, as we're going to get ready to turn them back loose here, just past the century mark. Mikael Hagström, the only one that did not come down pit road. So he's working on a 10-lap tire disadvantage, actually almost 20-lap tire disadvantage in the 2. So this is going to be real interesting to see how this one plays out. He's pretty much going to be a sitting duck by the time they get to the back straightaway, if not sooner.
Yeah, you're not wrong, Tony. That's a substantial disadvantage. Especially with as aggressive and the lap times these guys are turning here tonight under the lights at Texas. That may be a hazard out there on the racetrack. It could be. I've seen that play out like that before. I'm sure you have too.
I have, and it's definitely a cringe moment. Oi!
Oh,
that was ugly, as Hagström kept them all the way down till they got out of the restart zone.
Oh my.
That completely stacked up that inside lane, as there's Alex Weigert. He was the recipient of a couple of chrome horns there. It's Chris Worrell looking to make it 3 wide. Jalen Battle is 4 wide.
Oh my.
Holy Christmas, don't do it.
They were snaking down the backstretch, my God.
They were 4 wide for quite a while there, and how the heck they made it through there, I have no idea.
Yeah, they just took a subway foot long and made it work.
And part of it had to do with Hagström just not getting away. Hagström, who was your leader, is now back in 14th. There he is on the top side. So a lot of that was them trying to get by him on fresh tires. 20-lap-old tires, not where you want to be.
Well, they accordion there on the restart twice before the green flag even came out. The 33 saw that. He shot way up the racetrack because I was on the same page with him. I thought for sure they were wrecking. Then coming down the backstretch, they pulled out the double-decker sandwich, and then they about wrecked. 3 cars were bunched up on the bottom side of the racetrack. They were every bit sideways, and somehow the race continues, Tony.
They were absolutely trying to wreck, just couldn't do it successfully for once. But right now, there you see James Bowles working the inside of Adam Duff. Christian Malschrick right there. As you can throw a blanket over your top 10 right now, as Nathan Alul is the caboose in this little freight train at the front of this piece. With a second separation back to the double deuce of Taylor Butcher Benjamin, who has got a little bit of breathing room behind him, as Clarence Prince not pressing the issue right now, but Prince under a little bit of pressure from Joey Maines in the 8th. Meanwhile, back up towards the front, Chris Worrell trying to hold off Jalen Battle still for 3rd.
I certainly start to see a different look to the field right now, if you will, Tony. Am I seeing a little give and take going on at the front of at least for the first top 5, top 10 cars right now, as we are currently single file as far back as I can ever imagine throughout the course of this race.
We are at that, and this is probably the best thing that we could have happen right now. It's Clarence Prince catching the dog leg just a little bit. It's going to hold him up, trying to get to Joey Maines. That is your battle for 12th. Battle for 9th, still hot and heavy, as here comes Alul on Malschrick. France taking a shot at Slovakia. Makes the move stick, as Malschrick going to try to battle back through the dog leg.
Tony, I am sorry, but my son is currently licking the entire span of my glass window, trying to get my attention.
Okay. You might want to get that looked at.
You just had it all this race. Throw that one in there, too.
There you see your battle for 3rd. Chris Worrell, Jalen Battle, Curtis Kelly, Charles Robertson, all right there, running stem to stern. The big battles are going on just outside the 15. Oh, man. The 20 and the 26 both getting into each other.
And there she is. Caution flies.
Oy! We had just clicked to that, too, as we're going to go back another lap. This is the start of the lap that it actually popped off on. You see the 20 getting a good run through 1 and 2. The 26 is a little bit sideways. Lets the 20 get to his inside. They're 3 wide down the back straightaway. Still 3 wide into turn number 3, almost 4 wide. 26 and the 20 bank fenders coming through 3 and 4. And the 20 just, the back end washes out. He has to chase it down the hill. The 20 is there. And watch this. There's Eugene Thorne, and boom. Let's go back and take a look at what did happen to Chris V here in the 26. As this is V, the Muskegon, Michigan native. Still running side by side with the 2 of Hagstrom. He can see it start to pop off in front of him.
Yep, you can almost see it just breaking
down.
down.
And just gets run over by the 2.
Didn't have anywhere to go. Clearly, one thing's for certain, Tony. These drivers are getting every ounce of performance out of these vehicles. They're not leaving anything out on the racetrack. I mean, the 20 car was upset before he even arrived at the party.
Yeah, pretty much. As they were 3 wide for almost a full lap there, and that's never a good idea anywhere.
No.
Even at a place like Talladega, you got to be real careful when you're 3 wide, and Texas just doesn't have the room.
No, it doesn't have the room for 3, let alone 4 wide. And we've seen that how many times tonight?
At least 3.
I think that's being nice. Oh, once again,
this is our 12th caution. I just want to point that out.
Well, if you were on the pro plan, you're probably belly up, passed out right now, listening to this broadcast. getting back to Tony's proposed drinking game near the start of this one.
Yeah, if you don't have alcohol poisoning yet, you win.
Yeah.
Stop playing, game over.
Go ahead and shift gears to the Gatorade or the purified water at this point in time if you have not done so already.
That Pedialyte stuff works real well. But another thing that seems to be working pretty well is that 91 of AJ Green, currently sitting +9, showing why he was your points leader coming into tonight. Alex Weigert, Chris Worrell, Jalen Battle, and Curtis Kelly rounding out your top 5 as we currently sit.
I mean, certainly that ZL1 Camaro is number 1, continuing to show the way out on the racetrack. Your points leader, AJ Green, doing a great job of just managing the racetrack and keeping all the carnage and mayhem behind him.
He absolutely is at that. That's one of the reasons why he's leading the points, is because he's been up front all season. He's been, finishing up in the top 5 most of the season, keeping the car there most of the race to try to stay out of trouble. And he hasn't been. There's basically 2 types of drivers that I've seen in the entirety of the iRacing server. There's the finesse drivers, and then there's what I like to call the bull in a china shop. And you've got, right there is a perfect example of the 2 styles. And I'm not meaning any disrespect when I say this, but AJ Green is more of a finesse driver. Chris Worrell in the Skittles number 18 can be a bull in a china shop sometimes, but it works.
Yeah. I mean, no driver is alike, right, Tony? And certainly as an individual, you're going to have a different personality, and those traits are going to boil over and carry over into how you conduct your racing on the racetrack. And certainly in the 91's case right now, it's a lot harder than it sounds, but his philosophy is simple. Be smart out there and simply just stay in front of the competition. And by staying in front of the competition, you're keeping yourself out of harm's way. And it's a lot more difficult than it sounds, but that's just the case, where the 18 is more bulls on parade, if you will, but it works for both of them. They're nose to tail right now on this restart.
Now, don't get it wrong. I consider both of them friends. But it's just 2 vastly different driving styles, and you can see it right here as Worrell able to get a great jump as Alex Weigert, a little bit asleep at the switch, stacking up that outside lane. That opens the door for Curtis Kelly to get to his inside.
Yeah, I saw a massive wiggle there out of the 45 of Curtis Kelly, the 2311 racing machine. If he was on a motorcycle, I would have called that death wiggle, but he's got that Camry back under control right now as we barrel off. Coming down here out of turn 4, back down to the front stretch here, the dogleg.
As the 6 of James Bowles working on the 14 of Charles Robertson coming through that dogleg. Here comes the 7 of Nathan Alul, trying to make some headway back towards the front as he's got the 16 of Adam Duff to his outside. And don't look now, but here comes TBB in the 22. The Double Deuce trying to find an opening, not having one so far, as that is your battle for 8th, 9th, and 10th.
Yeah, certainly. And if I'm that 7 car, I am panicking right now because I don't like it when that car on the outside is hanging just off my outside rear corner, and worried he's going to take the air off my spoiler and my back end's going to be out to lunch. So if I'm that driver, I potentially may just back off the throttle, burp it a little bit, and let him go on by so he doesn't prematurely end my evening. But that's just me, Tony.
Well, so we got another battle going on for 6th, 7th, and 8th, as that's Bowles, Robertson, and Alul now all going after each other, right behind Jalen Battle in that Hendrick Motorsports number 24. They got that sorted out for the most part. Robertson and Alul still haven't given up on each other as Alul's going to slot in now down the back straightaway. They're almost 3 wide behind him. Thought better of it as here comes Duff to the inside of Taylor Butcher Benjamin going through turn 3. Christian Melchrick right there within striking distance as well.
Well, I'll tell you what, that SMS machine piloted by Nathan, that 7 car, he's got that thing patched up and running again pretty well as he is charging back towards the front, currently eating it down on the bottom line right now. Got that car looking pretty racing, Tony.
He does at that, showing why he set quick time in qualifying as here comes the 36 of Phillips to the inside of Duff. Just sends it going into 3. Pinches up on Duff. Duff wisely backs out of it a little bit. It's going to give the opening to the 36. Duff battles back. Coming through the dog leg, though, side by side for 10th. Give it to Duff right now as he keeps it wound up on that second lane.
Yeah, certainly the action right now is around the 10th position. That beehive on full display right now. Zach Phillips currently holding down that 10th place spot, but don't count out the likes of Duff or the RCR cars just behind him. They are lurking and currently trying to overtake him and get inside the top 10. I think second point in time tonight, Tony.
Absolutely, as Curtis Kelly and Jalen Battle go door to door for 4th. As Kelly on the low side, Battle on the top shelf. Coming down the back straightaway, drag race, give the advantage to Battle, using the outside lane to carry the momentum. Able to carry just a little bit more speed, about a car width and a half off the apron. And Kelly way down on the low side. Does have to back out ever so slightly. Gets the run going through the dog leg to the inside of Battle he goes. Those guys, no quarter asked for, no quarter given, as we've got 121 in the books.
And certainly we are not anything short of high, intense, impactful racing out on the racetrack here at Texas tonight, Tony. And as these tires start to wear more, look for that high line become the preferred line around the top shelf here at this racetrack. Just getting those runs and being able to try to hold the bottom is going to become a handful. Short, quick, and fast in a hurry here, Tony.
Very much so, as Joey Maines and Adam Duff were going after each other there for a little bit. Maines a little bit sideways coming through 1 and 2. He's going to have to back out of it. It's going to open the door for Marcus Hagman to get to him. What just happened to Ricky Hudgens? Oh, my. That car's a mess.
Someone just yelled, "Hold your brakes" in the driver's chat.
Well, there's Hudgens in the Zaxby's, the Ziegler number 52, gets up into the wall, bangs the wall again, tries to keep it up there. Caution comes out. Oh! And he was starting to come down right in front of the 77. Good grief. Dave Holmberg, absolutely nowhere to go.
Unfortunately, he dribbles it off the outside wall, and when you do that, you scrub off a ton of speed and then just comes down the racetrack at the worst time possible. And hello.
Holmberg was trying to avoid it. He was off the throttle, on the brakes, trying to steer that car, and guessed wrong. Oh!
Now, unfortunately, that's just one of those racing deals. You know, as a driver, I mean, if that was me in that race car, that's exactly where I'm going to go. That's where I'm going to put that machine. And sometimes you guess wrong, Tony.
And then this happens. Oh.
Oh, yeah.
To add insult to injury, the 34 of Johnny Castle, nowhere to go, completely rips off the right front suspension. And how about that? Steven Sear, luck's starting to turn his way as he stays out of it.
Yeah, finally, he was gifted a free pass and was able to keep his car clean and comes out the outside of that one unscathed, Tony.
We're going to lap 125 of 167 here tonight. Mikkel Hagstrom, Brock Evans, Clarence Prince, and Mike Iskandar all deciding to bring him down pit road. Adam Duff, the first of the ones that did go pit side, took fuel only Adam Duff and everybody behind him electing to take 4 in fuel.
Interesting statistic here for you, Tony. Only 24 cars out of 41 are currently on the lead lap right now. So almost half the field tonight is either parked behind the garage, is taking a DNF, or has been involved in some type of unfortunate circumstance. 24 drivers right now currently on the lead lap.
As there's Johnny Castle being scored as the last car as such. Ricky Hudgens has put it on the hauler. Colin Forrester, Bob Wyckoff, Rhea Ferris, Christian Delgado, Brian Treadwell, Adam Ashire, Lance Hill, Angel Hernandez, and Joseph Medor have all decided to put it on the hauler. Casey Tomlinson has been on pit road for the last 22 minutes trying to get that car fixed and salvage as many spots as he possibly can here tonight. And right now, this is going to be the first time that we've been able to see Brock Evans in the 30 as the control car, as he elected to stay out last down pit road about 16 laps ago. As the same with the 99 of Mike Iskandar. So Adam Duff, the first one to come down this time, is going to be restarting in third, but he took fuel only. Chris Worrell in the Skittles 18 is going to be the first one on the fresh set of shoes. So this is going to get interesting.
Yeah, it's going to get really interesting as we see a lot of different strategy coming into play right now. Some people just coming down taking fuel only. Some opting for 2 tires. Some opting for a full set of Dr. Feelgoods. Interestingly enough, the 30 car, your leader tonight, it's first time he's going to get this chance to get his hands on that restart button. He's been working the high side of the racetrack.
I'm surprised he's not picking the outside lane, other than the fact that he might know that Duff doesn't have fresh tires. He knows Iskandar was last down pit road with him under the previous caution, so he doesn't want to give Worrell any better of a shot than he can.
My thoughts exactly, Tony. I thought for certain he was going to take the high side. The control car has the option to start in the bottom lane or the top lane. One of the benefits of being the leader on the restart. But like you said, probably doesn't want to give him the benefit of having that outside, knowing that he's good on those restarts.
And he's probably hoping Mike Iskandar is going to stack up that outside lane, because that is one of the most difficult things to restart from, is the outside of the front row, because you not only have the side of the seat, you also have the window net to try to look around. Not the easiest thing to spot up, so you got to start almost a half a car length back in that outside lane to get a shot at firing off it with anywhere near effectiveness on the restart. We're about to find out, though, as the pace car does peel on off. Evans has the button. Mike Iskandar on the outside, currently your biggest mover, and Evans holds him down till they get out of the restart zone.
Oh man, did he pack him in the restart zone? Then he gets on the loud pedal, fires off. Clearly, Brock currently shoots out to the lead, working the bottom side of the racetrack. Currently, they are 3 abreast behind them. That typically doesn't work well.
4 wide.
Throw that out the window.
What are you doing?
And exactly what are you doing? But somehow they keep it. Oh, here we go. Oh, big time wrecking, Tony. Big time wrecking. Some guy just launched into outer space.
Well, we'll go back and take a look and see who that was, as that started with Duff.
Yep, that absolutely started right around there, that 4-wide trio.
So let's back this up a little bit more. So keep your eye on the 16, because that's going to be really where this starts. And you're going to see the 43 send it 4 wide down the back chute. The 99 wisely backs out of it. The 18 wisely backs out of it. Worrell's off the throttle here. He's going to back out of it, let these guys go. As the 16 gets just a little sideways coming off of 4, goes down into the 14. Worrell gets sent into the wall. Oh my goodness. So let's back this up just a tick more. That's not what I wanted.
Certainly, this has to be giving all kinds of fits to race control.
There goes the... Oy. Oh, man. Let's take a look at what Alul saw here. He gets sent down the track. Taylor Butcher Benjamin, there he is in the AAA 22. Again, sent down track. Christian Malsherick sent through the grass. Good grief.
Oh. I mean, and then you take out the leaders in the process.
Yeah. I mean, you took out quite a few healthy cars there.
That was the wrong kind of equalizer.
I don't think anybody wanted to see that.
No. That's not the type of racing that you're trying to broadcast, Tony, and I guarantee that's not what the league's trying to put on here tonight either.
You are correct. There you see Worrell getting turned by the 16, aimed right at the 14, nowhere to go.
Right in the sights.
Boom. Malsherick piles in. Marcus Hagman nowhere to go. The 10, the 17 all getting a piece of it. The 20 shoots the gap. Luckily, he didn't get in anything. Jake Banner, not so lucky in the 9.
Yeah, what a masterful piece of driving by the 20. They're able to shoot the gap.
Oy. So that's that caution, as we've got some more retirements to speak of. And some more takers down pit road is, look who won the pony, Mike Iskandar in the 99. He bailed out on the restart.
So your current leader bailed out on the previous restart that ensued all that melee.
Yes.
Incredible.
And this race needs to hurry up and finish because I'm almost out of cigarettes.
How are we on the time clock there, Tony?
That's an excellent question. Let's find out. And the time clock does not want to appear.
That's about right on par with everything that we've been subjected to throughout the course of this race tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Is we're going to restart
right now,
almost 30 to go.
Yep, 30 to go, and that means about 4 more cautions, if not more, by my count. Currently have about 18 cars currently on the lead lap. Going to have 1, 2, 3 cars 1 lap down off the pace. That's going to be the 19 of John Hopley, the 77 of Dave Holmberg, and the 30 of Brock Evans, all mired 1 lap down. And I have to imagine they have some sort of damage on their race car as well.
Probably a true story. Now, the good news is, if you're a Chris Worrell fan, And there he is on the outside, and you can see that car looks brand new again. He did have his fast repair in his pocket late in the going, but Mike Iskandar in the GoPro 99 Chevy Camaro gonna restart from the control position. Jalen Battle, one of the best restarters in the league, gonna be starting to his outside. Curtis Kelly, Zach Phillips up there as well. Your biggest mover right now is that 99 to Iskandar, currently sitting plus 26 in this field tonight.
That's a substantial move, if you ask me, Tony. He's up 26 spots on the front row, ready to go, looking for an opportunity to win this thing.
He pulls the trigger, and we are back underway. A little bit of a wiggle out of Curtis Kelly. Does stack him up behind him, though. As Kelly in battle, bumper to bumper.
And the 24 just ran the 45 all the way down the racetrack, throwing a major block.
Alex Weigert looking to make it 3 wide, thinks better of it as the 8 of Joey Maines backs out of it. Iskandar and Phillips now under pressure. Phillips looks to the inside of Iskandar. Phillips on the fresher tires. Nathan Alul, your pole sitter, currently making his way back up through the field.
As the 99 goes way up the racetrack as the 36 of Phillips on those fresh tires turns it, cranks it down underneath him.
Does it that. That's going to hold up the 41 of Jonas Skoglund as he's right there as the 99 throws the block on Weigert coming through 3 and 4. Weigert trying to make some headway. He's going to cross over the 99. Iskandar on a charge. Old tires or not. He's 3 wide, though. That's never a good sign.
Oh, my goodness.
They were 4 wide.
Massive wiggle out of the 43 there as he almost just eats the back. Oh, my God. And the 22 and the 99 just about touched and set off a massive change reaction.
Joey Maines and James Bowles going side by side for 8th. As Maines goes to the extreme high side, gives plenty of room to the 6. Remember what I said about bulls in a china shop and finesse racers? There you go. Guess who's the finesse racer?
Yes, sir, Tony. I'll tell you, if you guys are riding along with us in the YouTube chat, this is the first time you came across one of our broadcasts, make sure you guys smash that like button, ring that bell. If you're into any type of sim racing, trust us right here at SRM to bring you live racing coverage 7 days a week. Your home for online esports.
Absolutely do, as right now Jalen Battle shows the way. There is that Hendrick number 24. About 0.3 of a second or 5 car lengths of a gap back to Curtis Kelly. Zach Phillips is under heavy pressure from the Frenchman Nathan Alul. Alul looks to the inside through 1 and 2. Drag race down the back straightaway. Give the advantage to Phillips, using the top lane to his advantage. Alul trying to take the short way around. Catches the apron. That's going to open the door for Worrell to get to his inside coming off of 4.
Yeah, anytime you certainly catch that apron on the down there and on the bottom, that's going to scrub off some speed. Allow the other cars that are pursuing you to chase it in. But how about that 24 car, that Hendrick Motorsports car out front right now? And you know what, Tony? He's got a pretty clean-looking machine, I might add.
He does at that. The Raptor 24 hasn't brought that paint scheme out for a while, as we're going to check back with our battle for 5th. It's Weigert and Alul in all international battle. Weigert from Switzerland or from Sweden. Alul out of France, going door to door here. Battle for 5th, hot and heavy.
Alul trying to work the high side of the racetrack, trying to get that position, make his way around the 43 of Alex Weigert. Just cannot seem to complete the pass. He has the momentum on corner entry, but right now just can't seem to just come around him on the outside. Gets pinched up the racetrack a little bit by the 43. There's some tough battling going on right now between these two cars, Tony. My God.
And they are at that, and we're going to check back up in the battle for third as Worrell sideways coming off a 2. That's going to open the door for Zach Phillips to get to his outside going into 3. Toyota on Ford Crime as Phillips just sends it on the outside lane. Gonna use that second lane momentum to pull out in front of Worrell. Worrell trying to claw his way back onto the podium to get as many points as he possibly can for that Joe Gibbs number 18 tonight as a substitute driver. Battle Kelly, Phillips, Worrell, Weigert, your top 5 as they currently sit. And Nathan Alul right now in a Swedish sandwich. Leaning on each other through 3. That's putting a lot of trust in netcode.
Oh, too much trust if you ask me, given what we've seen tonight, Tony. But how about that Coyote turning up the ponies? Man, he is sending it top shelf where Mama hides the cookies there on the outside. But he's making it work.
He absolutely is, as Chris Worrell wrestles third away from Phillips. Weigert wrestles the spot away from Alul only temporarily, slams the door going into 3. Weigert still goes up about a half a lane to try to get a little bit better run coming off of 4. Alul sideways coming off of 4. That's going to open the door for Skoglund and Green.
Oh, a block is a block, and that was a block that was thrown. My goodness. As the action is really starting to pick up here on the racetrack, as we are completing lap 145 out of 160, which means, Tony, we're coming down here at crunch time.
23 laps to go as we are watching Taylor Butcher Benjamin, James Bowles, and Nathan Alul just go after each other. Joey Maines right there as well, just outside the top 10. Throw a blanket over your top 10 right now as there's a little bit, or top 11, as there's about a 2-second gap back to that man in the 17. That is Derek Cook. And then he's got another second behind him to that battle between, that's a lap car of J.B. Banner behind Eugene Thorne. Meanwhile, back up here, A.J. Green, Alex Weigert, and Zach Phillips still going after each other.
That certainly is. And back out front, currently still maintaining your lead, showing the way right now, the Hendrick Motorsports car of Jalen Battle. He's currently still shining the way. Currently enjoying right now over a half-second margin out on the racetrack as everyone else currently engaged in battle behind them. Really outside, the only cars that really aren't mixing it up right now, Tony, are your top 3. Fourth on back right now. They are jostling for position. They're going high. They're going low. They're bumping. They're grinding.
Well, especially this battle for 5th between Weigert and Phillips. They have traded paint the last couple of laps. A.J. Green, looking in his rearview mirror, your points leader, currently sitting in 4th, knows that he doesn't have to win, just needs a good solid night to maintain that points lead, as right behind them, the battle for 8th, James Bowles and Taylor Butcher Benjamin in a slugfest right now. Ford on Ford Crime for 8th, as that's Butcher Benjamin on the low side. Bowles sideways coming off a 4. Boy.
And was he ever sideways coming off a board? They go through the dog leg, barrel down into turn 1. How about that? Yeah, 3-minute battle is somehow the 7 saves it. Oh my God. What a save by the 7 of Nathan Allow.
We're gonna go watch that again. This is Allow coming into 1 and 2. Keep your eye on that blue and black number 7. Gets the chrome horn from Joey Maines. Sideways, down to the apron, off the gas, saves it, gets back on the throttle, and doesn't lose a spot.
That's almost damn near impossible to do, Tony. That is incredible.
As here comes A.J. Green to the inside of Chris Worrell to wrestle third away from him. Green just sent it. As that is your slugfest for third. 17 laps to go. Jalen Battle shows the way. Curtis Kelly, the Canadian, sits in second. A.J. Green, Chris Worrell, Alex Weigert rounding out your top 5. As Weigert doing battle right now with Zach Phillips. Phillips giving Weigert all he can handle.
Oh, he certainly is giving him the business right now as we currently on back to the 36 and the 43. They're currently duking it out on the racetrack over positions 5th and 6th. The same story unfolds as we go back to 7th and 8th between the 22 of TBB and the RFK machine of James Bowles.
Actually, it's the 41 of Jonas Skoglund on the outside of the double deuce, and they have not given up on each other for the last 5 or 6 laps anyways. We are coming to the stripe to get 15 to go as Skoglund with a nose out front coming through 3 and 4. Still door-to-door action throughout this field as Worrell and Kelly now going after each other. Worrell back up into a podium position. Kelly may have gone too hard too soon as he is now continuing to backslide. Taking a look at the last lap times, almost 0.6 of a second to the good for Worrell. Your fastest 3 cars on track that last time by. Jalen Battle 32.12, AJ Green 32.05, Chris Worrell 32.11.
Yes, certainly the Canadian carrying the Maple Leafs strong tonight. The 45 of 2311 Racing, Curtis Kelly, may have been getting it a little too much after it, trying to main pace trying to run down the leader there. I certainly seen his elbows up, getting a handful of steering wheel. He could have just ate a little bit too much of that right rear, Tony.
Absolutely. He's checking back with battle for 9th. That's Alul on the low side. Bowles on the top shelf. And Alul just sends it going into 3 as Bowles continues to backslide a little bit himself. A lot of separation now at the front of this piece. As there is Chris Worrell, your 3rd car. Curtis Kelly is about 4 car lengths back.
Yeah, certainly there's a lot of separation up front as this is the longest green flag run I think we've had tonight, Tony, so far. But I definitely want to jinx that.
Now the question is, can you make it from here? The last time most of these guys were down pit road was lap 124, with the exception of Green and Worrell, who came down on lap 130.
Well, Tony, if I'm the driver of that race car, I am on the horn with my crew chief trying to figure out fuel mileage. If I can't make it, I want to know who can. Do I have to start letting off a little bit on the entry of the corner, rolling through the center, start picking up the throttle a little later? I don't want all of my hard efforts that I have fought through tonight just to run out of gas coming to the stripe.
Well, Clarence Prince is bringing it down. He's apparently not able to make it from here. As the 17 of Derek Cook goes through the grass. What just happened with Cook? Let's take a look at what did happen here.
Seems to be back up, out on the racetrack.
Just caught the dog leg wrong. Out of Derek Cook out of McGraw's West by God, Virginia. That's how he told me to say it, folks, so blame him. As Jonas Skoglund and Taylor Butcher Benjamin still door-to-door for 7th. They've got the 7 of your pole sitter, Nathan Alul, sitting right there with both of them. That is your biggest battle in the top 10 right now. Butcher Benjamin has it. Skoglund and Alul both want it back.
Yeah, certainly this is the biggest gapping we have seen through any stretch of the race tonight, Tony. If you go from your point car, the 24 is currently in P1, back to the 10th place machine of James Bowles, you're looking at almost just over a 6-second differential.
You are, as there is Bowles, your current 10th place runner, coming down the back straightaway, and there is Jalen Battle, your leader, going into 3. So the distance of the back straightaway is the gap from 1st to 10th right now. Everybody else sprinkled in there like fairy dust.
Fairy dust, if you will. Might need something a little extra here tonight to get these drivers home the rest of the way. Fuel mileage, we're going to throw that variable in the mix. Already seen some of these guys come down pit road knowing they can't make it. We're just going to have to see how this shakes out. You know, something else I'm starting to see on the racetrack too, Tony. All the cars that are moving forward right now have the least amount of damage on the vehicle. All that carnage from earlier has to be coming into play.
it was racing smart that got these guys to where they are right now.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
And speaking of racing smart, there we see your defending series champion, Marcus Hagman, as he currently sits in 11th, about a second and a quarter adrift off of James Bowles. Battle starting to heat up, though, again between Alex Weigert and Zach Phillips. As Phillips looks to the outside, coming through 4, almost into the wall.
Oh, did he ever come close to that wall?
And that's the race. We ended on time.
Tony, 1. I can't believe we ended on time. 2. Since my tenure here at SRM, and it has been a fun one, and I love every minute of it, I have not seen a race that action-packed since I have been here, Tony. Glad I could be alongside of it with you. Well, I can't even talk right now. I'm on the edge of my seat. Glad I was able to be alongside of you for it as the 24, the Hendrick Motorsports machine of Jalen Battle brings it home Texas style here tonight.
Absolutely. And, Matt, I believe you've got our race winner with you now as he's getting ready to burn them down.
Oh, that's right. Your winner tonight, the Hendrick Motorsports machine of Jalen Battle. You got me. Matt Metler up here in the booth. Jalen, you got
I got you guys. Hello.
Oh, Jalen, what a race tonight. We've seen just about everything in the textbook thrown out the window. Survive and alive. Your car was fast when it needed to be fast. Checked out on the field. How does it feel right now to bring it home here in Texas tonight?
Oh man, that one feels really good. Oh geez. I don't know if you guys noticed. I mean, we've been pretty much in the slump for the past since Pocono, since the second race of the season. We've just been finding ways to like just let go of these good finishes, let go of these good races. If it's something I make a mistake on, just bad luck or just random issues with iRacing, it's just always been something it seems the past few weeks, past few months. I think I threw one away at Bristol last weekend too, and just like IRL stuff, it's just been really, really not too fun. So I'm so, dude, I am so happy with this one. This one means a lot.
You know, I can certainly hear it in your voice, Jalen. But you said it right there. You were in a slump. Things were off. You were feeling down on yourself. How did you guys get it turned around? What did it take to make this win happen here tonight?
Well, I was talking with some of the guys in the HMS Discord, and I was talking to them. I was like, I feel like we've been having good speed or good runs, just finding some way to just not close it out, and or just some like unfortunate like circumstances. But man, just keeping it calm, putting an entire race together was the real key here. Staying out of trouble. We got a little lucky there with a big wreck back at the about a few laps ago, about 30 to go. So getting through that and then just running some perfect laps there at the end. I don't know, the 91 AJ, he was really fast, and Chris was really fast, so was Curtis. All the guys in the top 5 were really fast, and just had to hold on there at the end. I'm just, oh man, this one's nice.
Well, something else you did really good tonight too, man, and that was race management, because there was carnage just about around every corner of every turn here on this racetrack tonight. Way to put it together. Way to close it out. I'm happy for you. Who do you want to thank tonight?
Just shout out to the Rita and her team, the league. Shout out to HMS and all the guys in the Hendrick Discord. It's really fun chatting with them and having some good banter and talking about the race and all that. And then I just want to give a quick shout out to my aunt. She got diagnosed with cancer this past week, and this one's for her, man. I just praying for her and just shout out to her and all that. But thank you guys.
No, thank you. And there you have it, folks. A very emotional Jalen Battle, your winner tonight. Story of adapting and overcoming. Tony, back to you.
And joining us now is going to be the driver of the 91. Your points leader coming into tonight. Your points leader coming out of tonight. AJ Green, is anybody able to stop you winning a championship this season?
Yeah, the people who keep winning these races. I keep getting second or third, top 5s, and one of these days I'll get it. But the second was like third to last caution. My wheel changed modes unexpectedly and had to take a fast repair. And then the next caution, I got an EOL for speeding, so I just decided to take tires. And then I just pushed, went 3 wide, waited for people to get tight, and it worked to get second.
Well, the Pride of Mount Clemens, North Carolina, coming home with another podium. Not the top step yet this season, but you're getting there. We go into another wild card race next week at Talladega. What are your thoughts going into that one?
I don't know if I'll get a top 5 or a win there. It's kind of hard to predict the plate race, but I think it will be good. I think we might get a fast repair. I'm not sure. I kind of hope we get 0. Just kind of weed out the people that might do questionable stuff. But yeah, it should be fun.
All right, AJ, we're going to let you go celebrate another podium with your team. Who do you need to thank before we turn you loose?
Shout out to y'all for broadcasting or putting on the league. Shout out to Colin Forrester and Mike Iskander, my teammates, and yeah.
All right. Again, AJ Green, congratulations on coming out of here with the points lead again. We will see you next week at Dega. And Matt, I believe you've got Chris Worrell with you now.
Chris Worrell, Matt Metler up in the booth. You got me, sir.
Oh, what's up? What's up?
And congratulations on coming home tonight with a podium finish, 3rd place. Describe to me that race. I mean, we came to Texas and we shook the dice. We threw it down the backstretch, and just about every type of situation that you don't want to see as a race car driver unfolded here tonight. How did you do it? How did you get that car home in 3rd spot?
It's kind of hard to say. It was nice to get some racing in there in those last couple laps, that last 10, 15 minutes or so. That was pretty cool. I don't know. I just tried to say up front at one point because I wanted to save if we had a good long run, but we never got that. So I just tried to save tires, have something for the end, and just stay up front when I realized that we couldn't get any racing in. So it sucks. I really wanted to win this for you, Brian, if you're listening, but it's a crapshoot on strategy when everyone's wrecking every single lap. So.
Did you feel like the intensity was just a little bit too high? The aggression level was just cranked up a little too much at certain points tonight?
Possibly. It's hard to say. I was only put in a situation where I felt like that happened once, but I had to go back and look. But I just feel like people just need to, if you want to race in the league, go practice some outside of it. I know we're all here for fun, but I feel like a lot of people just show up just to race on Sundays, it seems like, because it's just ridiculous to go that many laps, under pacing. But
no,
it is what it is.
And you're absolutely right. It's a lot more than just showing up to race tracks on Sunday and going out and competing. So many people that work behind the scenes to make your car perform, and your sponsors and all the hard work that gets put in. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyone that you want to thank, Chris?
Rhea for putting up with it. She's very nice to keep a lot of the people that are in here still in here. So, other than that, anybody who's let me sub for them, just the guys up front that are fun to race with, you guys doing the broadcast, SRM, Brian for letting me drive the car today, and that's about it.
And I think that's another key point you just touched on too there, Chris. You need a sub. You need to look this man up. He can certainly get it done for you. Great job. Way to bring it home, P3. Tony, back to you.
And Chris, before you hear it from anybody else, yes, I did refer to you as a bull in a china shop sometimes, but I mean it with love.
Yeah. Hey, well, I didn't wreck anybody.
I know.
That's all I can say.
But
yeah, I'm just got to throw that out there.
Congratulations on the podium. But Chris, we'll see you next week at Talladega.
Thanks, Tony. Y'all have a good one.
So we got another one in the books coming home. Nathan Alul, AJ Green, and Chris Worrell. I don't know why that came up like that's why. There's our finishing order. Uh, Jalen Battle, AJ Green, Chris Worrell, all coming home on your top steps of the podium. Curtis Kelly, Alex Weigert running out your top 5. Zach Phillips Sr., Taylor Butcher Benjamin, Nathan O'Lewell, Jonas Skoglund, and James Bowles rounding out your top 10. Marcus Hagman, Derek Cook, Eugene Thorne, Joey Maines, Johnny Castle, and Chris V rounding out your lead lap cars. John Hopley, Mike Iskandar, Christian Malsharek, and Dave Holmberg rounding out your top half of the field. Matt?
All right, as he rounds off the top half of the field, I'm going to take you through 21st place on back. That's going to start off with the THZ machine of Clarence Price, followed by the HMS car of JB Banner, the 5 machine of Stephen Cry.
Sear.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Your 24th place finisher of Michael Hagstrom, the 30 of Brock Evans, Charles Robertson, Adam Duff, Jeremy Weimer, Jake Barner, Ricky Hodson, Kyle Moyer, and running down through the remaining finishers. These guys all suffered a severe amount of damage. We're well off the lead pace this evening. Coming home in position 30, Ricky Hodgins, the 54 of Kyle Moyer, 31st, Colin Forrester, 32nd, Bob Wyckoff, 33rd, Rhea Ferris, your HMFIC tonight. I know she's going to be disappointed with that 34th place finish. Moving on down the list here, 35th position belongs to C. DeGello, the 48 of Brian Treadwell. And I got to scroll down here just a little bit more, Tony, here to round out the remaining finishers tonight. 37th position goes to Adam Alshire, Corey Tomlinson, Lance Hill, A. Hernandez, and rounding out your 41st position, certainly first, not last, that is Joseph Medor.
Well, that is going to do it for us here tonight from Texas. Be sure to join us next week from Talladega as the circus continues. For Mr. Matt Mettler, thank you for joining me in the booth tonight for Sim Racing Media. This is Tony Trapasser. Remind you, ladies and gentlemen, that as you walk down the road of life this week, until we meet again, whatever you do, don't play in traffic. Good night, everybody.
I love how you close the race out. Don't play in traffic. That's what I felt like we were doing all night tonight, Tony, playing in traffic out there on the racetrack. That was a doozy. Oh, but see, hey, now you're primed up, ready to go. Now I get. But you know what? You know what? You got to be exhausted. But you know, how about the winner tonight, man? You heard it in his voice, you know, and yeah, I mean, no, obviously I didn't know the backstory, but the minute, you know, he jumped in the booth, I could hear it in his voice that he overcame something. And you know, outside of all the carnage and mayhem and the horrible bad racing we've seen on the racetrack at times, that's one hell of a storyline to come out of here, and I'm happy with that.